Hi, Tom for the Foxes stand here. Wow, that's the new video for the start of the show for next season. Obviously, back of the Championship, few grounds looking forward to going to see, especially Wrexham and back to Portsmouth. Hey, who else who knows what will happen before now and the end of the season? Who's going to go up from League One and who's going to, be in that position next year? Who's going to go up to the Premier League who we won't be playing? But let's talk about today's game. A 2-2 draw away at Notts Forest. Everyone knows I love why Nottingham Forest fans are by calling them Notts Forest because they will hate it. But obviously, it's a great day. It was a great day out. It was great to go to the City Ground today. Make a few people fall. Great to see Jack from the final whistle. Doors on tours. Always good to have banter with you, my kind sir. It was good to see you as usual. Been a long time, but yeah, great to see you. It was great to see you before the game. Have a bit of fun with the Forest fans. But I think generally a good day out and a good point. What could have been 3 at the end. We had the 2 best chances in the last 5 minutes from Amonga and Victor Christian right at death. But let's go back to the start. Obviously, 2 news came out and Ruud van Nistelrooy had gone for the same lineup he had the previous week. He'd gone for the back line of Solarchek, Justin, Cody, Faz, Thomas, a midfield of Winks and Diddy, and then he'd gone for the midfield 3 or front 3 of Jordan Ayew at 10, El Khanous on the left, McAtee on the right, and Jamie Vardy up top. And I think you can't question why he'd done it. I think if you'd said at the start of the season, at the start of the game, he was going to pick the same team last week, bar that I think a lot of Leicester fans didn't want to see Jordan Ayew in there, but credit's where credit due. I thought he didn't have a bad game. It was the same team what we expect, I think, in general. Obviously, kick-off atmosphere was raucous. It was a good atmosphere in the way, and today really good. Even when we went behind, the Leicester fans were still fully behind the team and felt that we could get something from it. Game kicks off first 10 minutes. I think it was a bit back to the wall. Leicester had one little half chance, but mainly it was back to the walls. And Elanga was causing Luke Thomas all sorts of problem down that right, or Thomas's left-hand side, Elanga on the right. He was causing all sorts of problems, and Leicester couldn't really get to grip with Chris Wood. And on another day, Chris Wood had scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes as he was on form. Ball across to the back post, headed it back across the goal and over the net, over the roof. And then there was another one he should have done better with. But he didn't get the connection right. And then, out of nowhere, Leicester have a bit of a free spirit and let's get forward for a change. And there was a couple of long balls thrown in by Luke Thomas. And the second one caused them all sorts of problems. A long ball in, headed out, falls to, I think, McAtee, who then knocks it across El Khanous with a shot. And fair play, Connor Cody was on his front foot, and as soon as his shot went in, he followed that ball in like you taught. Follow the ball in. It bounces up. Poor save from their goalie, really. And there was Cody to head it into the back of the net and make it 1-0 to Leicester. And you know what? So be it. We didn't probably deserve to be in that league, but I think it was a fair finish from Cody, and it's great to be leading. But again, like all this season, we couldn't hold out the league long enough. Again, I think it's 50-50. He's a foul on the touchline. Alanga's caused Thomas a problem, but he's on the side, and Thomas wins the ball. And as he wins the ball, he catches Elanga, goes down. The ref doesn't give a free kick. But then Elanga goes to get up, and as he gets up, Thomas puts his hand on him. He falls to the floor, and the lino gives a free kick. I think it was harsh at the time. But again, you've got to set up better than that. And for me, this whole zonal marking with some men marking and some that I just did my head in, just go man for man, because the ball comes in. Justin sort of has a hand on Morgan Gibbs White, but doesn't really go. Gibbs White runs in between the space at the front post, heads it down into the ground and across the goal in into the net, and it's 1-1. And again, just another set piece conceded by Leicester. And you're just thinking, how many more goals this season are we going to concede from set plays? How many? It's getting ridiculous now. Forest then had a few more chances. Good save by Solarchek. Wood again should have done better. Headed it over, wider as it came out to him. There, Forest, I think 1-1. Forest will say that they were more dominant with the ball, and I think they were. I think we had a few breaks away, but we didn't really cause our goalie too many problems. Second half kicks off. And really, it was all Forest. Leicester were defending quite deep. We couldn't get out. We didn't really have much of a counter-attack. And it was just a matter of time really before he took the lead in that second half. In my head, I just felt it was coming. Leicester didn't seem to switch on the second half like they'd done in the first half. And, the Fens win the ball. They play it into Gibbs White. We all know how much quality Gibbs White's got. And nobody closes him down. He delivers a delicious ball, and it was a delicious ball towards the back post. It's gone over Cody's head. He's gone over Justin, who's misread the ball, and he's trying to get there and dives for it, misses it. And there's Chris Wood, the ex-Leicester striker, who's now scored 8 goals against Leicester since leaving us, diving in at the back post to head it into the net. And Forest take the lead. Forest then had 2 or 3 good chances, really, to put the game to bed, in my view. Didn't take them. Another ball then and then Leicester take the opportunity, really, and it's a ball for Christensen, who rolls it into Vardy. Vardy with a flick round the corner. Bonotti picks the ball up, who runs onto it, and just as he's going to shoot, he drags the ball inside past the defender, who can't do anything, and just gets his shot away before the next defender comes in on his right foot, doesn't break stride and hits it into the net to make it 2-2. Leicester fans go mental at this point. And it was all Leicester then. Then there's the controversial point, what we'll all talk about as well. Ball to the back post. He was offside, but Awonga collides with the post. I think it's Awonga collided with the post, and it was a nasty collision. For somehow, there's a mixed communication between the Forest medical team and the bench, because they all said that the player was okay to continue. Forest then make the substitution. The player then gets up to walk down the touchline and can hardly walk. And sorry, but you've already made the sub, so they had to play the last 10 minutes with 10 men. And I think that's apparently why the chairman came on the pitch, because he was infuriated that I think he thought it was a rest fault that the player didn't go off, when no, it was your medical team who made a right muck up the substitution. And that last 8 minutes or 6 minutes of added time, whatever it was, Jesus, it was all Leicester. I mean, Leicester went to a back 5, they brought on Ockley and gone 5 at the back, but Leicester had the better chance in the extra time. The first one, a counter-attack again, the ball goes out to Vardy. He can't get it into his stride, but still managed to get into the box. He pulls it to the back of the area, and it falls to Mongi, who's running onto it, left-footed shot. It goes up and down. You think it's going to go over the goalie, who just gets his hand out and parries it just wide. He has to make a double save, a second save, because Bonotti's coming in. And then, literally, with the last kick of the game, another one, ball but from the left, Bonotti into the far post. And just Victor Christian's coming round, it bounces just in front of him. He can't get his head on it as it bounces up towards his head, and it just goes past. And Forest come away with a point in the end, and they could have come away with nothing. Leicester have come away with a good point, another half-decent performance. It wasn't excellent at times, but it's a step in the right direction after the performances against Brighton, the Liverpool performance, the win against Southampton. Yes, Wolves was a poor performance, but 3 out of the last 4, the performances have been slightly better. I'm not going to say they're excellent, but there's still something there. Obviously now, massive week, level of points with Ipswich going into that game. Week for the players to try and get some more practice together. It's had a lot this season, but, we need to start keeping this momentum going, in my view. Man of the match day, again, it's tricky. There's a few players who stood out to me. I'd probably go for El Canus and Buonanotte. I thought they were excellent today. Buonanotte, because of his performance coming on for that period of time. I think he changed the game with the attack intent. He was very much trying to get into the box and make things happen. Luke Thomas, again, he dealt with Elanga best he could, but it wasn't one of his finest games over the last few weeks. But he tries so hard. You can see he wants to play. But I say, got a week now before we play Ipswich. Obviously a big game, because we're both now on 22 points. Leicester have never gone down with less than 22 points, so that record can't be changed now. But we don't really want to go down second bottom. I'd rather go down third bottom above Ipswich. That's be a nice little thing to finish the season off. Obviously, 2 tough tries. Ipswich will be no pushovers. They had another poor result against Brentford the other day. But look, Leicester have got to look at this game and think it's a home game. It's Jamie Vardy's last game. Only 2 more games to get 1 more goal in. We so wanted it to be at Forest Graham. He didn't really get a sniff today. He had 1 half chance, and he mucked it up really when he cut inside. And he should have shot, and he tried to pass it instead. But look, it's a good day. It's a point away at Forest, and from that, as I said earlier, it is now out of Forest's hands if they can get to the Champions League. They've got to rely on other results going their way. With Villa got to play Tottenham and Man United. Newcastle now basically got one easy game, one tough game. You know, basically Newcastle in the driving seat for their position, and Chelsea have got to go to the Forest ground still on the final day. Hey, we've all walked out there knowing we've completely hopefully destroyed their chances of getting Champions League football. But hey, we'll take it and we move on to where we want to be. And it's going to be getting used to playing Championship football again next season. But there's enough signs in that squad of youngsters. And yeah, we've got players to get rid of. But next season, if we can keep Abdul Fattah, Mavididi, and Monga as your wingers and strikers, attacking force, Jesus, that's some attacking force. Build the midfield, build the defence. You've got Jakub Salacic, who for me will be absolutely brilliant again in the Championship as a goalkeeper. And, let's sell the assets if you've got to sell. We all know probably Mads is going to leave. We might lose El Khanous. We don't want to, but it might happen. Drop me your thoughts in of the game today. Drop your thoughts on my opening video, what I've gone into now. There's still a bit of work to be done. I want to know what you thought about it. That's going to be the review video going forward for the next season with the grounds on it that we will be going to again. Drop me what you think going into Ipswich game. Do you think there should be some more substitutions? Personally, I want to see Buonanotte start against Ipswich. I want to see, I don't want to see Jordan Ayew on the pitch again. He had a good game today, but I think we look so more threatening with Buonanotte on there. Not had enough chances. I know people will say he's leaving us at the end of the season, but while we're paying his contract, we might as well get the best out of him and enjoy watching him. Like I say, let me know what you thought of the video, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.